you're an indie author. We're talking indie author folly here, which is less folly in this instance, more of a risky endeavor to make your debut as an indie author, to debut with a book that is going to be one in a series of books that are intertwined with one another. Okay, so you're plan on writing a trilogy, a tetralogy, or a whole, maybe you're going to do a Wheel of Time thing. You got 15 books or whatever it is. You publish book one. Okay, you got a passion for it, right? You have a passion for this project. However, you also want to make some money. All right. You're doing it as a combined business endeavor and an artistic passion project. Okay. But you are trying to make money from it. In other words, you're putting it on the market. So you publish book one, but it's a flop, or copies move about as fast as molasses. Okay. Copies, that's how fast they're moving off the shelf, as fast as molasses, if you could picture that. Right. You're selling like maybe one copy every other month. Maybe you sold one copy each season of the year. Now you're trying to think to yourself, okay, I have a passion for this, but the way that it looks, it's not going to be something that I'm going to be making a whole hell of a lot of money at. So now you're thinking to yourself, well, as a business endeavor, something that doubles as a business endeavor, is this worth my time? To be sinking my time, energy, effort, and money, because thinking editors, cover design, you're trying to put out the best possible product that you can. You're proud of your work. You're trying to build up a body of work, but you're thinking about the sink cost, all that sunk cost into this creative endeavor over the long term. Well, here's the thing. You'll want to finish the series, but you're thinking, if book one isn't selling, then who the fuck are you marketing to for book two? Who's your market for book two? Who's your market for book three? God forbid, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Now, here's a little aside. The aside here, again, I will state, if you're enjoying yourself, finish what you start out to do. If you're just enjoying yourself, this is a passion project, okay? Then finish what you start and accomplish what you had set out to do. I will say that you will, if it's a passion project and your heart is in it, then I'm telling you, you will feel an overwhelming sense of achievement when it's all said and done, okay? Because I will say there's no shelf life when it comes to literature. Look, people still read books that were published decades ago, centuries ago, okay? This thing is just like there's some sort of shelf life when it comes to literature and reading literature. Oh, I can only read what came out this year. No. Finish your series. You might not make a lot of money. It might be a long time before you can even break even as far as the investment goes, all across the board in terms of your time, effort, energy, and your own seed capital to finish that project and create a quality product. But at the end of it, it's just make sure that it's something that you can be proud of and you can stand behind that product and say, I fucking wrote this, I created this, and this is some good fucking work right here. Okay. I mean, you're not rating your work like we talked about earlier, but I'm just saying it's something that you are proud of at the end of the day. You know that you gave it your all. You know that you put your heart and soul into it. And it's something that you can be proud of. It's not just something that, there's a difference. Like if you're writing to market, your heart and soul might not be into that. You know, if you're just looking up fucking keywords, doing SEO bullshit, and you're just like, oh, it seems like teen fiction with a love triangle that involves werewolves and vampires is very popular right now on the search engines. Maybe I'm going to write a paranormal romance that has those elements. It's a bit, like it's a bit robotic. That's a bit of a robotic kind of approach to it. I would argue not so artistic. Artistic usually it starts from within. The value, the artistic merit of a work usually starts within the artist themselves. They're not necessarily writing for anyone else. It starts within themselves. It's something, it's a feeling, not just a desire, because it's to say like that would be masturbatory work, right? You just say, I'm just writing this because I want it, just to say that you're creating a piece of art that resonates with you, but it's also something that you feel like you need to do. Okay, it's not just something that is like you want to do it, but you feel as though you have to do it. That's kind of like the difference there, I guess, when I was saying you're writing to market versus you're writing to create a piece of art, piece of art in the form of literature. So here's another remedy, though. Okay, so say you're very passionate about it. Another remedy I would say rapid release. Okay, if you can release if you can release 2, 3, 4 books, like say you can release 4 books of your series in one fucking year, do it. You could spread them out. You say, one for the spring, one for the summer, one for the fall, one for the winter. I think that's a decent spread. Usually it's a 6-month spread, 2 books per year. But at the very least, do 1 a year in succession. Don't have multiple years, in between books, because that's going to, I think, hurt you on the marketing end. Because if you have rapid release, what I've seen as a reader and following like Booktube and stuff is, if you do rapid release, you're going to see booktubers talking about a series that you heard about earlier in the year and be like, holy shit, what? Didn't they just come out with book 1 earlier in the year? And now it's triggering that FOMO, the fear of missing out. You're like, oh shit, this booktuber is already talking about book 3 and I haven't even hit book 1 yet. Shit, I got to get this show on the road here. You know what I mean? So that's, like I say, the rapid release. Rapid release could work in your favor. Even if it seems as though book 1 has kind of flopped, a month has gone by, 2 months have gone by, you're getting nothing. There's no activity. The books aren't moving. Just boom, move on to the next, move on to the next, move on to the next, move on to the next. And just try to get them out as quickly as possible, because even with that rapid release, just know that you're still wanting, I understand you still wanting to take your time and put out a quality product, but the rapid release should be part of a goal. Like if you're going to plan this out ahead of time. I mean, obviously, hindsight's 2020. I'm talking about if you've already fucked up, in quotes, and made your debut with book 1 from your series, and it's already out there, then the best course of action, I think, from that standpoint, because you got to look at it like, well, look, if book 1 ain't selling, then who am I marketing for book 2? Who am I marketing for book 3? At that point, it's just try to put out the best product that you possibly can in the shortest time frame as possible and get it done. You're going to feel a sense of achievement once it's done, and then you can decide from that point, all right, now I might take my career as a writer in a different direction. I might try some standalones. I might try to I'm still in love with this particular series. Maybe I will write some spin-offs, some one-offs, some short stories involving some of the characters from this world that I created. You see, there's all these different options to remedy it. So I don't want people to think that, it's absolute folly if you make your debut as an indie author with a book from the series. No, I'm not saying that is folly, but I am saying that you're taking on, from a business standpoint, you're taking on a lot of financial risk in the sense of overhead. You're making, in other words, you're front loading your investment as an artist.